Did you know your daily bowl of oatmeal? Yes, the one you've been told is heart healthy, could be quietly harming your body, depending on what you mix into it. It's a tough truth to hear, especially if you've made an effort to eat better as you've gotten older. Oatmeal on its own truly deserves its good reputation. It's gentle on the stomach, rich in soluble fiber, and fantastic for managing both cholesterol and blood sugar levels. But here's what most people overlook, especially those of us over 60. The moment we start adding certain common toppings, many of which are marketed as healthy, we can unknowingly turn that wholesome bowl into a sugar bomb, a metabolic disruptor, or even a long-term threat to the heart, liver, and kidneys. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to certain ingredients. Blood sugar spikes hit harder. The pancreas produces less insulin. Our digestion slows down, and key organs like the liver and kidneys don't process toxins and additives quite as efficiently as they once did. So the truth is this: what you put in your oatmeal can either support your body or silently strain it. And the scary part? Most older adults don't realize which toppings are doing the most harm. In today's video, we're uncovering 7 common ingredients that older adults often add to oatmeal, and why each one could be doing far more harm than good. Some might surprise you. Others you may have relied on for years. But by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to avoid and how to make your oatmeal a truly heart-smart, energy-boosting meal again. Stick with us until the end, because just removing 1 or 2 of these sneaky ingredients could lead to better energy, more stable blood sugar, and real protection for your organs, especially your heart, liver, and kidneys. Let's start with the first hidden culprit. 1. Brown sugar, a sweet shortcut to insulin trouble. Brown sugar may look slightly more natural than white sugar, but your body treats them both the same way, especially as you age. And when you add it to your morning oatmeal, you're not just sweetening your breakfast, you're launching a spike in your blood sugar that could leave you feeling foggy, sluggish, and hungrier by mid-morning. Here's why it's a problem. After age 60, your pancreas produces less insulin, and your body becomes more resistant to the insulin it does make. So, when you introduce fast-absorbing sugars like brown sugar, it's like throwing gasoline on a fire. Your blood sugar shoots up, then crashes, leaving you in a roller coaster of fatigue, cravings, and potential long-term damage. Over time, this pattern wears out your insulin response and increases your risk of developing type 2 diabetes, even if you think you're eating healthy. Take Janet, a 67-year-old who prided herself on her morning routine. Oatmeal with a splash of skim milk and a spoonful of brown sugar. She couldn't understand why she needed a nap by 10:30 every day. After reviewing her diet with her doctor, she cut out the added sugar, and within a week, her morning energy stabilized. "I didn't think it was the sugar," she told me. "It was just 1 spoonful." But for her body, it was enough to throw everything off. Brown sugar doesn't just stop at 1 spoonful either. It triggers dopamine, a brain chemical tied to pleasure and reward. And once that wears off, you're left with a dip that sends you reaching for more sweets later in the day. It's not about willpower, it's brain chemistry. Healthier alternative. Try flavoring your oatmeal with cinnamon, vanilla, or a few slices of banana. These add natural sweetness and fiber without the blood sugar roller coaster. When you start your day with stable blood sugar, everything works better. Your memory, your metabolism, and your mood. And removing just that 1 scoop of sugar could give your body a clean, energized start every day. 2. Artificial sweeteners, a hidden threat to your liver and metabolism. If you've swapped out sugar for artificial sweeteners like sucralose, aspartame, or saccharin, especially in those little pink, blue, or yellow packets, you might think you're making a smart, sugar-free choice. But the truth is far more complicated and potentially harmful over time. Artificial sweeteners confuse your body. They deliver the taste of sweetness without the calories or energy. But your body expects calories when it detects sweetness, and when it doesn't get them, your metabolism, insulin response, and hunger signals all get thrown off balance. This is especially risky for older adults. As our bodies age, we naturally experience shifts in hormones, digestion, and fat storage. Artificial sweeteners can worsen these issues, slowing your metabolism, increasing cravings later in the day, and encouraging stubborn belly fat. I remember a gentleman named Roger, age 72. He'd been using a vanilla-flavored non-dairy creamer in his oatmeal every morning for years. He thought he was making a smart, dairy-free choice. But during a routine checkup, his blood work revealed rising LDL cholesterol and mildly elevated liver enzymes. His doctor recommended a simple change: remove all artificial additives from his breakfast. Within 2 months of switching to plain oats, with a splash of unsweetened almond milk and a sprinkle of cinnamon, his energy improved, his bloating reduced, and his labs looked noticeably better. "I thought I was doing everything right," Roger told me, "but I didn't realize how much junk was in that little bottle." The good news is, there are healthier and more natural alternatives that still give you the creamy texture you love, without the harmful side effects. Unsweetened almond milk or oat milk. Look for versions with no added sugar or gums. Full-fat coconut milk adds richness and healthy fats that support brain and hormone health. Plain Greek yogurt provides probiotics and protein, which support digestion and muscle maintenance. Mashed banana or blended cashews. For those who enjoy a plant-based creaminess, these add flavor, nutrients, and texture without chemicals. When it comes to your oatmeal and your health, less processing means less stress on your body. Your liver, heart, and hormones will thank you. Oatmeal. It's simple, familiar, and often praised as one of the healthiest breakfasts out there, especially as we age. But what if I told you that what you're mixing into your morning bowl might be quietly working against you? Today, we're uncovering 7 common oatmeal additives that can sneakily harm your energy, your digestion, your heart, and yes, even your long-term health. If you're over 60, these small ingredients can have a big impact. Let's continue where we left off, starting with number 5. Number 5. Non-dairy creamers. Non-dairy creamers might sound like a harmless way to make your oatmeal creamier, especially if you're lactose intolerant or cutting back on milk. But the truth is, many of these products are highly processed and loaded with hidden dangers. Most liquid or powdered creamers contain hydrogenated oils, which are sources of trans fats. These fats raise your bad LDL cholesterol and lower your good HDL cholesterol. A harmful combination for anyone, but especially for older adults managing heart health. Even if the label says trans fat free, don't be fooled. If the serving size is small enough, the manufacturer can legally round that number down to 0, even when trans fats are still present. Then there are the artificial thickeners, emulsifiers, and synthetic flavorings. These ingredients don't offer your body anything useful. Instead, they add more filtering work for your liver and kidneys, organs that may already be under stress from decades of medications, inflammation, or chronic illness. I once met a man named Frank, age 75. He stirred powdered creamer into everything: his coffee, his oatmeal, even his soups. He liked the taste and didn't want to bother buying separate products. But over time, Frank started having digestive problems and higher cholesterol levels. His doctor eventually asked him to stop using creamers altogether. Within just 2 months, Frank's lab numbers improved, and so did his digestion. "I thought it was just powder," Frank told me. "I didn't realize it was messing up everything else." The truth is, non-dairy creamers are marketed as convenient, light, and even cholesterol-free. But the damage they cause isn't instant. It's slow, quiet, and often goes unnoticed until more serious symptoms arise. So if you're looking for creaminess in your oatmeal, try unsweetened almond milk, oat milk, or even a splash of organic cream, if you tolerate dairy. A spoonful of plain yogurt can also add richness with real nutrients. At this stage in life, your body has taken care of you for decades. Now, it's time to return the favor with cleaner, smarter choices. Number 6. Store-bought granola. Granola sounds healthy. It's marketed as natural, wholesome, maybe even heart-friendly. But the reality? Most store-bought granola is a sugar and oil bomb hiding behind a healthy-looking label. To get that golden crunch and long shelf life, manufacturers often bake oats in sugar syrups and refined oils like canola, soybean, or palm oil. These may even be partially hydrogenated, contributing to inflammation over time. That chronic inflammation can lead to stiff joints, fatigue, and higher heart risks, issues that become more dangerous with age. And there's more. Artificial sweeteners place a hidden burden on your liver. While they don't raise blood sugar directly, they still require filtering. Over time, this can tax a liver that's already working hard to process medications, environmental toxins, and age-related wear and tear. The result? A sluggish liver, poor digestion, fatigue, and potentially elevated liver enzymes, sometimes without any warning signs, until real damage is already done. Let me share Charles's story. He was 74 and had been using sugar-free syrup and sweeteners in his oatmeal for years. He thought he was being diabetic-friendly, but his doctor noticed some liver markers creeping up. After removing the artificial additives from his breakfast, his digestion improved, and so did his lab results. "I thought I was helping myself," Charles said. "Turns out, I was just giving my liver one more job it didn't need." A better approach? Skip the fake stuff. Use real flavor from cinnamon, nutmeg, or almond extract. A small portion of real fruit adds sweetness, along with fiber, antioxidants, and vitamins that no artificial powder can replicate. Your body has worked hard for decades. Give it nourishment, not confusion. Because when your body gets clean, real fuel, it doesn't just run better, it feels better too. If you're still watching and found these insights helpful so far, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're with us. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss a video. Your support helps us keep sharing science-backed tips to help you stay strong, healthy, and independent. Now, let's move on to the next ingredient. 3. Dried fruits, a sweet trap for your liver. Dried fruits seem harmless, even healthy, right? After all, they start out as real fruit. But once fruit is dried, most of the water content disappears, and what's left is a highly concentrated dose of sugar, mostly in the form of fructose. Here's the problem. Fructose isn't handled like other sugars. It goes straight to your liver, which has to process it almost entirely on its own. And for older adults, especially those already managing other conditions or taking medications, this extra load can lead to liver stress, higher triglycerides, and even fatty liver disease over time. A small handful of raisins or dried cranberries might not look like much, but sugar-wise, it can be equivalent to a candy bar. And unlike whole fruit, dried fruit lacks water volume and bulk, so it's easy to eat too much without realizing it. That's where we'll pick up in the next section. Number 5. Non-dairy creamers. A hidden heart risk in your bowl. Non-dairy creamers might seem like a harmless way to make your oatmeal smoother and creamier, especially if you're lactose intolerant or avoiding dairy for health reasons. But the reality is, these creamers often come with a hidden cost to your health, particularly if you're over 60. Many popular powdered and liquid non-dairy creamers are made using hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated oils, also known as trans fats. These fats were once common in processed foods because they increase shelf life and enhance texture, but they've since been identified as one of the most dangerous types of fat you can consume. Here's why that matters. Trans fats are proven to raise LDL cholesterol, that's the bad cholesterol, and lower HDL cholesterol, which is the good kind that protects your heart. This imbalance puts extra pressure on your cardiovascular system and increases your risk of heart disease, stroke, and other circulatory issues. For older adults already managing blood pressure or cholesterol levels, this can quietly undo your best efforts to stay healthy. One spoonful at a time. What's even more concerning is that products labeled as trans fat-free may still legally contain up to 0.5 grams of trans fat per serving. If you're using that creamer every single day, those trace amounts can build up over time, increasing inflammation and arterial plaque buildup without you even realizing it. And that's just the fat content. Most non-dairy creamers also contain a chemical cocktail of thickeners, emulsifiers, artificial flavors, and preservatives, things like dipotassium phosphate, mono and diglycerides, sodium stearoyl lactylate, and synthetic flavorings. These are designed to make the product taste like real cream and blend smoothly, but they don't nourish your body. Instead, they burden it. Your liver, in particular, ends up doing the heavy lifting. This organ is already responsible for detoxifying your body, processing medications, and managing hormone balance. As we age, liver function naturally slows down, and adding artificial ingredients only makes its job harder. Even the low-sugar granola brands often use sneaky ingredients like honey, brown rice syrup, or evaporated cane juice. They sound better, but to your body, sugar is sugar. Blood sugar spikes, insulin rises, cravings follow. Then there's the issue of portion size. Most nutrition labels list serving sizes as just a few tablespoons, but most people pour far more than that, not realizing they're adding hundreds of calories and excess carbs to their morning. I once spoke with a woman named Ellen, age 71, who always added a generous handful of granola to her oatmeal. It gave it that satisfying crunch, she said. But when she learned she was actually adding more sugar and fat than a chocolate chip cookie, she swapped it for chopped walnuts. Within weeks, her blood sugar readings improved, and her afternoon energy crashes stopped. If you love crunch, go for plain toasted seeds, raw nuts, or unsweetened coconut flakes. These offer healthy fats and real fiber without the hidden sugar trap. Oatmeal should be a gentle start to your day, not a metabolic ambush. Number 7. Protein powders. Many older adults have heard that more protein at breakfast can boost energy and help preserve muscle. And that's true. But the source matters. Commercial protein powders often contain artificial sweeteners, preservatives, thickeners, and synthetic flavorings, and they're usually highly processed, making your kidneys and liver work harder just to filter it all out. At age 60 and beyond, our organs may no longer process these additives as efficiently, and excess protein, especially when it comes from powders, doesn't just vanish. What your body can't use gets filtered through your kidneys, and for many older adults, that extra load can accelerate kidney decline without obvious symptoms. A man named Dennis, age 78, used to blend protein powder into his oatmeal every day. A fitness blog told him it would help maintain muscle, but he was also on blood pressure medication, and over time, his kidney labs started climbing. Once his doctor traced the problem back to his high intake of protein powders, Dennis switched to real food instead: eggs, yogurt, or a handful of nuts later in the day. "I didn't realize I was overdoing it," he said. "I thought more was better." But as we age, it's not just about more. It's about what works for your body, not against it. If you truly need more protein, reach for food-based sources your body can easily recognize and process. Final thoughts. That morning bowl of oatmeal? It might seem innocent, but the little extras you stir into it could be helping or quietly harming your health. Let's quickly recap the 7 oatmeal mix-ins to be cautious about: brown sugar artificial sweeteners, dried fruit, especially sweetened, flavored oat packets, non-dairy creamers, store-bought granola, protein powders. Each one carries hidden risks, especially for adults over 60. And most of those risks don't show up right away. They build slowly, affecting your energy, digestion, blood pressure, and even your memory. But the good news is, you can change course. You don't need fancy ingredients or health claims on packaging. Just keep it simple. Stick with real food. Use ingredients that nourish, not stress your body. A sprinkle of cinnamon, a few fresh berries, a handful of chopped nuts, a splash of clean plant-based milk. These small, thoughtful changes can shift the way your body feels, not just for a day, but for years to come. If you're still here and found these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below so we know you're with us. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe and tap the notification bell so you never miss a new video from Elders Health Essentials. We love hearing your stories and questions. Tell us, which of these oatmeal add-ins are you ready to let go of? And what healthy swap will you try instead? Your body has taken care of you for a long time. Now it's your turn to care for it with wisdom, love, and clarity. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.